All right, I am Sam Duty, and this is Reducing Poverty with Blockchain. All right, so first, we're going to start by looking at world population as well as density. And so there's some important visualizations to keep in mind here as we talk about poverty in South Korea. Note the size of South Korea's landmass compared to their population in the top image. And the country is practically at capacity for new people, as the population density is one of the highest in the world. All right, so the world poverty gap. This graph shows the world poverty gap. As the graph states, this is the amount of money needed to pull every person in the country out of poverty. And South Korea's gap in 2021 was a mere 26 million. And this may seem like a lot of money, but compared to the rest of the world, South Korea is actually one of the lowest gaps in the world. And compare this to the United States with a gap of 2 billion. And another thing to keep in mind is the size of these countries by population. So the United States has around 7 times more people, so obviously a lot of mouths to feed. What is really interesting here is that if you were to multiply South Korea's 26 million by 7, you're still very shy of the US's gap by about $1.8 billion. So South Korea, it just shows that South Korea is doing a very good job at keeping that number low, and they have actually brought the gap number down by $60 million since 2009, which is certainly notable. All right, and drawing some conclusions. So there are some conclusions that can be drawn from the data given. The first conclusion is that South Korea has an incredibly dense population and that the country is nearly at capacity for new people. This is interesting because South Korea is also one of the leading countries with a low poverty gap. And this means that the majority of the country's wealth is pretty evenly dispersed amongst the people. And the second major conclusion that can be drawn from the data is that the country has been making terrific strides towards reducing their poverty gap. And the country had reduced their gap by 3/4 over 11 years, which is absolutely incredible, as they could have the number down to 0 by 2035 if this progress continues. And some proposed solutions. So cryptocurrency can be sent or given to people in need. So cryptocurrency is able to be electronically transferred between parties without the need for a middleman. And the only requirement is some sort of device that's able to host the wallet and account. And cryptocurrency can be used as a volatile money-making scheme. Someone who knows cryptocurrency, or someone who owns cryptocurrency, knows the value of it can change quickly and drastically. This makes sitting on it quite volatile, but one can either make or lose a lot of money by buying or selling at the right time. But it is to be noted that this way of making money is still very, very volatile. And then lastly, we have cryptocurrency can be mined passively. So for those in poverty, cryptocurrency can be mined with a bargain setup and begin to generate a passive stream of money. Though while this money is very meager, um, with more uh, hardware comes more money.